In the year 2015, Derek Chappell and Victor Frost watched the 1984 classic The Terminator every day for a month. Now they continue their journey, but this time it's personal. This is 31 Days of Terminator 2.
Hello, Derek.
Hello, Victor.
How are you this fine January 11th?
A lot better now that I'm done watching fucking Terminator.
Yeah. Oh, God, that movie.
Yeah, so
I gotta tell you, I loved your notes, your final notes on it. That was a lot, that really summarized everything my brain was telling me about the movie, but I was just so inundated with too much movie to express.
Yeah, I really wanted to do daily updates on it, but that update that note set started condensing really quick for me, and I realized I couldn't do it in parts because the main thing about this movie for me is a part of the whole, it is a movie that is less than the sum of its parts.
Oh, is it ever?
I don't know. I've just been thinking about how cool a movie it would be to just have no Connors in it, just Dyson dealing with this crazy moral issue, you know?
Yeah, you know what? And after reading your notes, I thought of the solution to Terminator 2 miniseries.
Yeah, or
yeah, go ahead.
Sort of the crazy version that would never happen, but that kind of exists in my head is if you had 3 or 4 Terminator 2s that are all alternate universes.
Alternate universes?
You have the Terminator that's just about John Connor, and you're allowed to have Sarah and Dyson and the Terminator 2 and the T-1000 in it, right? Mm-hmm. But you're telling the story of the character arc of John Connor, and then you reset and you do the one that's just Sarah Connor, and they go on different storylines.
The same movie, but from different perspectives.
Not I feel that they wouldn't necessarily have the same events because you'd when you focus on Sarah, decisions come from Sarah, and so it goes differently from when you focus on John. Because the version of it with John is John Connor learning to believe in this cause again, looking up to the Terminator as a father figure, all those things that they did really well with it. But that movie might be an hour longer than Terminator, but it's got 3 or 4 or 5 hours more crap in it.
Yeah.
And so everything, the first movie is such a good delivery on a high concept, and there's 4 or 5 of those high concepts in Terminator 2, so none of them can be delivered with the same focused impact. And I think if you did a mini series on it, it would ultimately suffer the same problem and just be longer because it wouldn't be laser focused on one thing. And that's what James Cameron is best at.
Laser
taking
focus,
taking one thing and just being every aspect of this, I'm going to look at every way that this trope or concept or historical event can be looked over.
I think what that ultimately means is that Terminator 2 is just not good as a movie, but would be great as a video game.
I would actually the Telltale series.
Exactly.
Of Terminator 2 would be fucking incredible.
Yeah, no, that would be amazing. I would like one where you get to just be the Terminator, and there's a ton of mini games. I don't mean the T-1000, I mean the T-800. And there's a ton of mini games where you are overriding bits of your programming now that your read write is enabled.
Yeah, sort of a oh god, this is so dumb, but you know what it would probably end up looking like?
What?
One of those visual novels with RPG elements.
Yes. Yes. If anyone listens to this, and I have doubts that there are, there is and you make video games, can you do that? Can you fire up the RenPy engine and just make a Terminator 2 video game?
I've messed around with RenPy.
I've tried it. I used it to make an interactive resume once.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, came out
I wrote a I did one path of what would be a branching stupid dating sim where you date World War II airplanes, but then the tank one came out on Steam and I was like, well, fuck.
Oh, there you go. Wait, what?
There's a Steam game where you date tanks. It's dumb as fuck.
What is the name of this? I feel like I have to look into this.
It's called like Panzermädels or something. Let me
later. But
yeah.
So one point that I really liked in your notes was that geez, where is I've lost it. Yep, never mind. I lost it. I lost the very nice point you made. I can't find it. So you've seen Terminator.
Yeah. I've seen all the Terminators.
You've seen all the Terminators. Like Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, I have only seen bits and pieces of Terminator 3. Do you think Terminator 3 is going to be easier for us next year? Tough call.
It's such a popcorn.
Good.
It's such a nothing movie that I think it might be like actually easier on just sort of a like getting your face in front of it every day
on a watchability level.
Yeah, but listen, the first watch is going to be harder than the first watch of Terminator 2 was.
Okay.
But subsequent watches will get easier just because there's so nothing
it doesn't have a climbing difficulty curve attached to it like Terminator 2 does.
Okay, so the main action set piece of Terminator 2 is this highway chase scene.
Yeah.
Where it's like a ton of really terrible CGI Arnold in it. Like being like there's I always bring this up as like sort of the contrast between like sort of like digital effects. It's not a problem with digital effects themselves. Digital effects are great. Like the way that digital effects are used in the Mad Max movie in Fury Road is like sort of illustrative of like the ways that you can use them really well. What the problem with digital effects is that it gets directors and movie peoples and whatever, like it allows them to do crazy shit without sort of blocking any of it out physically. So
I see where you're going with this. Yeah, therein lies the problem, because they don't block it out physically. It always ends up looking a little off.
Well, like so there in this chase scene, it's a chase scene between old Connor, 20-year-old Connor, whatever.
Right. Our age John Connor.
Yeah. Terminator Man and the TX chasing them with a bunch of autonomous vehicles.
Nice.
And it sounds awesome, doesn't it? But
it sounds
basically
great.
what comes out of that is that, okay, so she's mind controlled a bunch of cars. So a bunch of cars blow up, but there's no consequences. No resources on either side are really expelled through this thing. It's just like, like mindless explosion. That's a script writing issue. I'm like
explosions for explosion's sake without any sort of decrease in the danger.
Like it doesn't move anything forward at all. It's just noise. But the other part is that the CGI allows them to put Arnold Terminator through ridiculous things that would be climatic or beyond climatic in Terminator 1 or 2. Like he is hanging off of a tow truck tow cable and gets dragged through a bus.
I remember that.
That happens. And like if that happened in Terminator 1 or Terminator 2, that would be like that would be the difference between him being, our regular Arnold man and him being mangled Terminator Man. And like that's when the movie would get into the higher stakes of, the Terminator's really fucked up. How's John Connor going to get out of this?
Right.
In this movie, it's just like a badly shot, most of it's happening in CG. They pretty much just filmed a road and a truck.
Got it.
And there's just nothing to it. And yeah, he comes out the other end. Of course he is. We're 20 minutes into the movie, and they said we can do this, so why wouldn't we do this?
Right. And you're talking about mangled Terminator and all that stuff, and it just reminded me of the end of Terminator 2. And I don't know, maybe you have a different opinion on this line, but the line at "I now know why you cry."
Yeah.
I thought that was
not why you cry, but it's something I can never do.
Yeah, but it's oh god, I can't. I thought that was just too much. Yeah,
a little. I think that I Need a Vacation sort of sums up that termination of the character arc. Like,
yeah,
he learned humor. Like he could have been silent but understanding in that scene, and it probably would have been more impactful.
Yeah, and that line to me, it feels like it was an outtake that they decided to keep in. Just Arnold coming up and being like, "I need a vacation."
Yeah, it's great, especially because he's so fucked up. He's missing an arm. There's pieces draped off of him.
Now I gotta ask, is that arm that he left in the machine taken care of?
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that. Oh my god.
Because that is literally how this whole mess started.
Oh my god. That's a really good point. Terminator 3, Arnold arrives at the front door and it's like, you forgot my arm, morons. Now the steel company is going to build Skynet.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Although
time travel.
Although, knowing the average steel worker, they're probably going to look at it and say, what the hell is this doing in the machine? What the hell is this? I don't know. Toss it into the forge. Toss it into the foundry. Bloop.
or the guy takes it home and like sticks it in his garage and it's found 20 years later by his son,
who now works for Cyberdyne or whatever it is.
Yes, there you go. And then the cycle begins all over again.
Good.
Terminator 7.
Wait, how many Terminator movies are there?
1, 2, 3, Salvation,
Genesis. So 5, right? And then there's going to be another one.
6.
That's 6. Yeah. So
that could be Terminator 7. That would put it on roughly the right timeline. They'll have perfected their CGI Arnold at that point.
Yeah, like how they perfected CGI the dude for Tron.
Yeah. Have you seen Star Wars Rogue One?
No, I haven't.
Fuck. I'll spoil it right now. There's a CG Grand Moff Tarkin.
Okay, I gotta tell you, man, I'm not the biggest Star Wars guy. I don't even know who that is.
The old guy in Episode 4, the old Imperial commander,
the one who was taking the piss out of Vader.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So there's a CG version of him, and it's pretty fucking spot on.
Oh, okay.
Like it's getting there. It's not quite there yet. You look at it and you go, all right, that's CGI. But you could not tell a person what's wrong with it.
Have you ever seen the movie Sim 1? Simone?
No,
it stars Al Pacino in it, and he's a Hollywood director who's like basically the only reason he's still the studios are still allowing him to make films is because his wife is one of the studio heads. His ex-wife is one of the studio heads, and he wants to make more auteur type movies rather than popcorn stuff. And his diva actress stomps out, and that's like the end of the production. But then some really shady looking guy approaches him in the alleyway. He's like, "Excuse me, Mr." and I forget the guy's name, Al Pacino. We met at a conference about 5 or 6 years ago, telling you I was working on a virtual actors, and the guy ends up getting hit by a bus later and leaves all of the software for virtual actors and stuff, which I guess he's perfected, to Al Pacino's character. And then Al Pacino ends up making a movie with this virtual actress, but now he starts the lie that it's a real person.
Oh, man.
It is a good movie.
No, Hatsune Miku is a real singer.
Oh, God. Hatsune Miku. I went to the first U.S. concert for Hatsune Miku. It was at like an anime expo. There were like people from Japan who came there just to see it with like green Hatsune Miku vinyl records. Like, I don't even know why they brought that. Like, who's gonna sign that for you?
That's crazy.
Yeah, but look up the movie Simone with Al Pacino. It's you should, if you can find it, watch it. Will do. I accidentally stole the script of it from my school script library, and I still have it. Whoops. It's Where did Terminator 2 fall apart? What point in the movie do you just go, oh, if I could shut it off right now, I would?
I think that Terminator 2, the moment Miles Dyson blows up, that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which makes the T-1000 like a total sort of...
He's just out for blood at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Like...
Because the salvage thing, the chip, all the research, everything was destroyed. It should have ended right then and there. There should have been no need for John Connor to exist anymore.
Yeah, like, honestly, if they just cut to the T-1000 Marty McFlying out of existence... And
in the helicopter... In the helicopter. Oh, wait, no, he came in after the whole thing blew.
Yeah.
Just like a motorcycle, police motorcycle rolling down the highway, and then... T-1000 Marty McFly, and suddenly the whole thing tips over, ricochets, and hits some poor guy's car.
Yeah, we get like one last look at him staring at his disappearing hands and giving one of those like amazing silent acting, like,
God,
just, well, shit. And then,
in many ways, the T-1000 was my favorite character in that.
he's great.
Just amazing. Just that one look at the mannequin sold.
I like, perhaps they're just not quite done with him yet, like programming wise. He's still the prototype, so he's got a little bit of snark that Skynet hasn't removed yet.
Yeah. Well, it's over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Till next December and Terminator 3.
Woo! And hot Terminator chicks.
Yep.
Tell me, where does Sarah Connor Chronicles fall on this line?
Sarah Connor Chronicles is actually an alternate timeline thing.
It is.
Yeah, it takes place before 3, after 2.
Okay.
Like, and it's like basically like an alternate set of weird events. Like, there's bits from Terminator Genesis in it. Like, Terminator Genesis took bits from it, rather, with, like, you know, time traveling to the modern day from the mid 90s. And, like, the thing that I really love about Sarah Connor Chronicles is that it expands the idea of the Terminator fight to Skynet and the human resistance are like battling through time, and like, so there's a lot of human resistance fighters who've come back, and there's a lot of Terminators who have come back, and many of them like have nothing to do with the John Connor thing. Like, there's one of them that this Terminator's only job was to kill this one dude who would be important for the Resistance later, but not like John Connor, savior of the Resistance. Like, they're killing the quartermaster for TechCom. And it's like the Terminator overshoots his location, basically, like ends up in the 20s. So he's
been around a while.
He takes over a real estate company, has a building built that he has the building that the press conference is going to take place in 2006 when he needs to assassinate the guy, built, and has himself bricked into the wall behind where the guy will give the speech.
That is admirable.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
No, I mean, look, if you are an effectively immortal being that has no requirement for food, water, or drink, and you need to be in a specific time, in a specific place, no matter what, shit. That works, right?
Yeah. And the other thing that is really cool is that the character of Cameron, the Terminator played by Summer Glau, is a really cool character because she's a Terminator. Like, she murders people just whatever. She just give a fuck. But she also has some, like, they've been doing experimental things with the Terminators to make them better infiltrators, where they program them a personality that they can turn on and off for infiltration. But it starts sort of bleeding over and messing with them a little.
I heard something about ballet.
Yeah. I can't remember what the context of that was because it's been a while. But she does ballets and also like straight murders somebody in the previous scene, and it's fucking crazy.
Oh, well, I guess I'll have to watch this.
Yeah, we could just like binge the series in the 31 Days of Terminator.
We could, couldn't we? Wait, how many episodes is there? Oh, there's only 31 episodes. That is short-lived.
Wait, there's exactly 31 episodes?
Oh, God.
Holy shit.
This is meant to be.
It's meant to be.
So next December, just Sarah Connor Chronicles or Terminator 3?
Well, I desperately want it to be Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Just for variety being the spice of life.
Yeah, and because I consider Terminator 3 to be like a cinematic sin.
Oh.
But, I think we'll figure it out when we get there.
We'll figure it out. I may just watch it anyways because you've already seen all the Terminator movies, so it's not like...
Yeah, I am deeply entrenched in various Terminator.
Yeah. I just gotta say that my least favorite character in Terminator 2 was Sarah Connor.
Really?
Yeah. She just annoyed me. I mean, when she was kicking ass, when she was, being, awesome, that was awesome. But she rarely did that.
I think that part of the problem is, again, like this lack of time thing. Like they had Sarah be the hard ass who doesn't trust the Terminator in scenes of it, but they didn't have enough time to give her an arc of learning to trust the Terminator.
Exactly. She just made observations about how John has come to trust him, and look at him like a father, giving him with no other. It's just like...
it's like that. It very much devolved into telling and not showing.
Yeah. And that
just because there's just too much fucking movie.
There's too much. And the other part of me is that she just came off as so cold. And I mean, she started off in Terminator as this extremely passionate and caring person, and then like, I get it. Like, I get it. She is, after the events in Terminator, she's burdened with the knowledge that the end is coming, and it's her job to raise basically the perfect counterpoint to the Terminator, to the Skynet existence. Like, I get that, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, she wasn't actually insane. She wasn't actually out of her mind. She was sane the entire time, and yet it feels like she lost a lot more of herself than different people react to different things. I feel like she lost a lot more of herself than she really should.
I will disagree. I think that the thing that's important in the Sarah Connor's arc is that like she's in that institution, and she is crazy, just not the kind of crazy that they believe she is. Like, she is legitimately mentally ill because she has crazy post-traumatic stress disorder, like as one would.
Yeah.
And she's like they think she's paranoid and delusional. She's not paranoid, but she is delusional. Like, she has what she thinks of as visions. She has breaks from reality.
She had that break from the only break from reality we saw was after they drugged.
True, but
and she doesn't have visions. She has nightmares. She dreams that when she's sleeping or daydreaming.
Yeah, but like those nightmares are like those nightmares to her are visions, because like she knows that that's coming. And like the stress of that and the trauma and her disassociation with people because she believes that they're all walking corpses, like that's the kind of shit that war veterans get. Like, she is seriously messed up. And the institute is terrible. Like,
totally
it's just an awful
it's
place.
awful, god awful.
But the other part of that is that like they believe that like the thing that they think is most wrong with her is the part that is the thing that's right. But like, no, she legitimately has problems. She legitimately needs help. It's just couched in something that the world cannot understand because they don't know about robots.
Well, except that one shrink. He knows now. He knows.
Oh yeah, he knows. But like, that's why I think it would be really good if if you had the Sarah Connor movie where John was a MacGuffin child. Like, you could actually go into, like, you could explore this person who has been strengthened by adversity but also broken by it. Like, Hollywood movies have a terrible problem, especially with female characters. Like, how do you make a strong female protagonist? Well, you fuck up their life. Most of the time the cheap and stupid way that movies do it is like, why is this woman tough? Well, she's a rape victim. Like, that happened to her, and now she's badass. And like, the thing that basically never happens with female characters is to have an actual intersection between the character having been sort of, made, like, having had experiences that drove them to strive to be strong people, while simultaneously showing the way that those experiences have, like, negatively impacted their life. Because it's always just like, oh, they had a terrible life and now they're Laura Croft. Because you're never allowed to have female characters who are just like competent or badass people the way that a lot of male characters are just competent or badass people.
Yeah, I mean, think of what's the name of the main character in Die Hard?
John McClane. I was literally just thinking about John McClane.
Yeah,
John is a schlub and he murders like all the terrorists.
No, not even that. I mean, it's not even that. I mean, he is just a normal police officer. And here's the funny thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in Last Action Hero says this pretty perfectly. I never wanted to get into I never want to get into all this craziness. I just want to be a good cop.
It's the Jackie Chan syndrome. Yeah. I don't want no troubles. But like, yeah, like everybody fucking lost their mind at the last Star Wars movie. Like, internet people being super terrible about it. Because, like, basically Rey is the first female character who is just badass, just cuz.
Just badass and just competent, and it's Finn that's got to, work up to it.
Yeah, but everybody was like, oh, he's a Mary Sue. I'm like, fuck off. Her abilities are better justified than Luke's.
For real.
Like
how does she know how to fix the Millennium Falcon? Because she knows how ships work. She's a scavenger.
Yeah, like the only justification we have for Luke Skywalker flying an X-Wing is the scene where he moves his toy plane around making vroom vroom noises. Yeah, I don't know. This movie, I've seen it so many times that it's just sort of a cinema mush.
Yeah, exactly. Cinema.
It has become movie porridge. I don't know. Please, sir, can I have an hour more?
Can I fucking not? Well, Terminator 2 is behind us. That is all.
Yep.
All right, Derek. So what have you been doing with your time now that it's not full of Terminator?
I think that like Sarah Connor, this experience has traumatized me so greatly that I have resolved to become a more badass person. I've gone to the gym daily.
Really?
I've adopted a new diet. I have completely cut like grains out of my diet.
Oh my!
I would call it the paleo diet if I didn't think that all the woo around that diet was so fucking terrible. I am aiming towards badassery because I need to be able to fight Arnold Schwarzenegger by the end of the year.
That's right. We have 11 months and 20 days. Wait, no. 10 months and 20 days. 10 months and 20 days until the next 31 days of term.
And if I'm not prepared and ready to face... Well, I mean, the other part is that with the events in the world that are currently occurring, we might be fighting Skynet in a year.
I have a feeling that if it came to Skynet, I think I'd be fighting with Skynet.
No, just a picture a T-800, but made of gold.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be... yes.
It's going to be huge.
Okay. You know what the worst part about Terminator 3 is? I know I've said this before on one of our things, but the best scene in Terminator 3 was deleted from it.
What was that?
Which is,
yeah. Go on ahead.
The sort of Southern American accented Arnold Schwarzenegger explaining the Terminator robot, and everyone was like, it's pretty great, but that voice kind of sucks. What can we do about it? It cuts this little tiny scientist. It can be changed.
It's too good. All right. I think it's over.
Yeah, it's done.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
See you in the future, or the past future. And hopefully we'll still be here for next year's.
Well, if America catches fire, I may escape to the icy north.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.